everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Talking Toku, the only podcast where we talk about sci-fi monsters and dinosaur adventures. I'm your host, David.
I'm Brian.
And I regret to inform you that it is no longer October. We're not doing anything spooky anymore. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, real bummer.
But it's okay.
Except no, because it was a little spooky right there at the end. So,
what do you mean?
Talking about the show that we're talking about.
Oh, okay. I was confused as to what you were going for, but I guess that tracks. Yeah. So are we? Is this going to serve as an epilogue? Are we going to try to spin this as an epilogue to our spooky season coverage, Brian?
Nah.
No. Okay.
Nah.
We're not.
It's November.
It's November. You're right. It's November. We're getting into the end of the year, but as we promised last episode. As we promised last episode, we're doing it. Season 2 of Jurassic World Chaos Theory just dropped, and you can be damn sure we're going to review it, because that's what we're doing right now.
We blitzed through it. Really?
I mean, not
truly
really.
Blitzed through it. Yeah, we did. I mean, kind of right there at the end we did.
Well, we had 3 episodes left. It was fine.
All right.
We managed. We got through it about as quick as we did like all the other seasons we've gotten through, I feel.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the news.
Yeah. It's been a slow news week, which again is insane because in between episodes we had the Godzilla Day festivities and not a lot happened.
I would argue that just about nothing happened except for the one piece of news.
Well, here's the thing. The one news story we're covering didn't even happen on Godzilla Day. Like, it broke, I think this broke November 1st, a full 2 days before the Godzilla festivities happened. So, like, I apparently it was because it leaked. Like, the news leaked, so they just went ahead with the official announcement early, I assume.
I don't know. I mean,
because why else?
People leak shit all the time. Like leak in big quotation marks all the time. You know.
I don't know. Jinx.
It might have just. It may have just like lined up. Well, you know. I don't know. Anyways, we should probably actually say what we're talking about.
I mean, you guys already know what we're talking about. If you don't know, where have you been? You've been living under a rock the past 2 weeks? Probably. Takashi Yamazaki's back for another Godzilla movie. It's official.
Yeah, he's doing it again.
He's back, baby.
He's back. I hope his whole team is back.
I assume his whole team is back. I'd be shocked if they weren't.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. And no other news than that. It's happening.
It's happening. Yeah. We talked about it on my other show, which I'll talk about later at the end of this episode. I'll shill that. But we talked a bit about what it might be, when it might come out. Basically, so they didn't specify that it was a -1 sequel. They only said new Godzilla film in production. They did not specify that it was -1 related. They just said Takashi Yamazaki's back, and then he was making a Godzilla movie. No further details than that, which is kind of interesting. But like at the same time, why wouldn't it be a sequel to -1? You know?
Yeah.
I feel like that's just stupid of them to do if they were to go down that route, but who knows? Yeah, it's probably a -1 sequel, though. I mean, come on. He's mentioned the fact that he has ideas for a potential sequel. So if they got him back, it's a no-brainer, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I liked the you know, the different interpretations that Toho has brought us the last few outings, and seeing them potentially stick to one version is, I don't want to say worrying. I just feel like I might lose out on some like crazy ideas, because like Shin Godzilla was like a big swing. That was a big swing for Godzilla at the time, and you know, that was fun to see. So, you know, I'm gonna miss the variety, but you know, I understand why they want to do a sequel. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, you know, you have a movie that got you an Oscar. Like you may as well keep with it.
You can't not follow up that success, like directly follow up that success.
I would argue it is a poor business decision to not go with that. And we all know that Toho very much loves their money. They're serious businessmen.
They are. But also they might be banking on the fact that like Yamazaki's back. Like people know who Yamazaki is at this point. I mean, I don't know if you've seen, but like there's been reports that he was approached by Kevin Feige at Marvel to potentially do a movie for them. And he was like, nope, I got to do Godzilla. Fuck you, Kevin Feige.
That's based.
That's a direct quote from Takashi Yamazaki. He told Kevin Feige to go fuck himself. Do not look up any source on that information. Just trust me. What was I? Where was I going with that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, like people know Yamazaki, so like even if it wasn't a -1 sequel, they might be banking on the name recognition alone for it to do well. Which as I recall, like Yamazaki is like one of the most, even before -1 came out, he was like a very well-renowned director in Japan. So maybe that's kind of, with -1 being as successful as it is, that might be bleeding over here into the West, into Hollywood, and people just show up just because it's another Yamazaki directed Godzilla film. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I do think they're going to play it safe and just do a -1 sequel.
Yeah.
But on the point of it not being another like anthology film like the rest of the Reiwa era has been, I am kind of in the middle on that, because I really love the fact that it's been all anthology stuff. I like that we've seen different interpretations of the character ever since 2014, basically, even though that's not technically part of the Reiwa era. But also, we haven't really seen a Toho-produced true sequel since 2003 with Tokyo SOS. So it's been a minute, you know? So I think we are kind of overdue for like an actual true sequel to a Godzilla film, with Toho's involvement, of course. So
yeah. It also doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna, you know, make like a billion sequels to it. You know, it could just be like 1 or 2, or maybe like a trilogy.
Yeah,
which I'd be okay with. I just really don't want them sticking to one thing forever.
Oh no, I don't think they would do that. I think Yamazaki said if everything works out, he'd like to do a trilogy. Whether or not Toho continues with the continuity after he does that trilogy is totally up to them. But I would think they've been pretty hands-off creatively with Godzilla. I feel like everything that they have done, that Toho has produced since the kind of resurgence, has been pretty auteur, basically. You know, Shin Godzilla, the Polygon trilogy, Singular Point, and -1 have all been very creator forward. So I feel like whatever comes next is going to be exactly as creator forward as that. So I don't think they'd want to just kind of milk the -1 cow, as it were.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know. Just interested to see, like, you know, if Yamazaki has the material to make these movies interesting, like, I'm down for it, like, as usual. You know, I get tired of the same thing over and over again. I got tired with superhero movies very quickly. I've been tired of the MonsterVerse since King of the Monsters. So I'm just very hesitant for them to tackle that, because I don't know if they're going to try and be like, take influences from Hollywood. If they did, I would not be into that.
I don't think they will.
I don't think so either, just on the off chance.
Yeah.
Because, money, businesses make, they do money.
Yeah. I mean, I did hear a report that Toho wants to give him a bigger budget for this next movie, which is a good thing, I think.
Kind of par for the course for most sequels.
Yeah, exactly. And especially considering that, like, if you're gonna do a sequel to a Godzilla movie, you kind of have to do a monster fight, right?
Yeah.
You can't just do another solo movie.
I would actually be really interested to see what another solo movie as a sequel would be.
Well, that is something I had not considered, but now that you mention it, it's an interesting idea. I don't know how the fandom would react.
I don't think the fandom would react well to it, but they don't like change.
This is true. This is true.
I'm always open to swings, even if they're misses. Polygon Trilogy did a lot of shit differently. I didn't like it, but I appreciated that they tried.
Yeah, that was a lot of swings, a lot of misses, but a lot of swings.
That was probably arguably the biggest swing.
Yes, and I say all this as a Polygon Trilogy defender. A lot of misses there.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're gonna have to do a monster battle. Yamazaki has already said if given the chance, he would like to remake Godzilla vs. Hedorah, and also Godzilla the Ride, which he also directed. He has a King Ghidorah and a Rodan model right there, ready to be tweaked a bit, like he did with the Godzilla the Ride model. So those are 3 options right there. Whether or not that's what he goes with is who knows.
Can you imagine the fan reaction to another movie with fucking Hedorah in it?
I would much prefer that than another movie with the fucking Big Five.
I mean, me too, but like I think people would be like insanely excited.
I think they would. I think the conversation around Godzilla versus Hedorah has definitely shifted in the past couple of years. I feel like people really used to not like that movie, but people are really starting to come around on it now. So I feel like if they were to do if they were to bring Hedorah into this sequel, then people would lose their fucking minds, I think.
I would lose my fucking mind.
So would I.
Yeah. I honestly might not believe it.
Until you see it in the theaters. You're gonna see all the trailers. You're gonna see the trailers and like, nah, they're just gaslighting me.
Or they do that thing where it's like Hedorah is there, but then Godzilla fights him and kills him immediately, and then it's revealed that like King Ghidorah is back or some stupid shit.
Godzilla just kills him off in the first like 20 minutes.
Yeah, like they did with Scylla. And,
Rest in peace, Scylla.
Rest in peace, that entire movie. That movie sucked.
Yeah, damn. Just good talking Toku back on our bullshit of trashing on the MonsterVerse at any given opportunity.
It's just fun.
It is fun.
It's just fun, man. I got no apologies anymore.
No, it's our brand. Yeah. It's fine.
It is our people. Apparently, we're gonna have to debate about the Heisei movies pretty soon.
Yeah, so. we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I don't know if I'm down for that.
Okay.
One more thing about this. What are we thinking ETA on this movie?
So assuming production has like just started, I mean probably like late, maybe mid 2026. Maybe 2027 early. I don't know. Like genuinely, I don't know.
Yeah. So my thought.
It's hard for me to definitively say, because like movie production may just be different in Japan.
Exactly. So my thought was, I think at the very, very earliest, around this time next year, at the very earliest. And
wow.
No, so my reasoning for that is around this time in 2022 was when -1 was announced. And then it came out about a year later. Granted, we were hearing rumors of it like earlier that year, because there was that, you know, announcement that, oh, Takashi Yamazaki's making an untitled monster film for Toho, and oh, there's a casting call for extras on the official Godzilla app. So we kind of had an inkling as to what was going on like a little earlier in the year than that, but I don't know. I think at the very, very earliest around this time next year. I don't think that's going to happen. I think a lot of that is wishful thinking, but I think it's possible. It's possible. Unlikely perhaps, but possible.
I see where you're coming from. I'm still going to think probably like maybe mid 2026. And that's just the most reasonable amount of time.
Yeah,
I think
that's definitely more realistic, I feel. So,
because like, you know, like on some level, making a sequel to a movie is probably easier than making a brand new movie in a brand new continuity. But like, also, they're probably going to be bringing in a new monster.
Yep.
And, you know, even though Yamazaki's got these ideas in his head, like, I don't know, maybe the script's not done. I don't know. I mean, and those, I learned a lot about the process of making the effects for this movie. And like, it is a lot of data, and it took a lot of hours and a lot of people, or with not many people, I mean. So like, I don't know. Like, it's hard to tell. Like, maybe with extra money comes extra time from Toho. I don't know. I think people in the West would probably reasonably like expect it to be like mid 2026.
Probably,
which is,
yeah.
I think just because of that, that's probably when it's going to come out. Like they might be able to churn it out in a year. I don't know, but
I mean, hey, that's what Toho used to do back in the day. They were pumping these out once a year.
Oh yeah. But with those movies, I mean, like, they had all the suits and stuff. You know, they had the Godzilla suit. They didn't always make a new one, and they had a lot of the same.
They usually did. They usually made a new one.
They usually made a new one? Oh, I didn't know that. I knew that they made a lot of suits, but I didn't know that like for every movie it was like a new
Ryan,
one.
come on. What are you talking about? You tell me he looks the same in all the movies?
Not all of them, but I thought that maybe like they took one that they used from a prior movie and modified it.
They would
I didn't
do
think
that.
they built a complete new one. A complete new one?
I think there are at least 6 separate suits for the Showa era alone.
That I can believe. I'm kind of thinking of Heisei right now.
Heisei was modifications here and there. I think
that's
I think with the Heisei era, it was kind of a Ship of Theseus kind of thing, where like they started with the Biogoji suit in Biollante, and then just kind of modified it, and then eventually it became what we saw in Godzilla vs. Destroya. I think I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know. They may have built new suits.
Yeah,
I'd have to look more into that.
I don't know. I forget it. I forget a lot of shit, Dave.
I guess this is why we need to watch the Heisei era again, Brian. Maybe Naomi was right.
I guess so. Maybe. I mean, maybe. I'm not watching Godzilla versus King Ghidorah again, though. I don't like that movie.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Again, we covered that recently. I think it's reasonable to not watch that one again. Yeah. Anyways, all right, we should talk about the greatest TV show to ever exist, to ever grace the face of planet Earth. What do you think?
Goddamn right. It was great. I liked it.
Yeah. This was pretty good.
Yeah, Chaos Theory season 2. When did the first season come out? It really didn't feel
earlier
that long
this
ago.
year. earlier this year. Yeah.
Yeah. It was. I mean, it takes it takes place right after season 1 ends. Like they start on the boat that they left on, and then they are in fucking Africa for the whole season.
And unfortunately, spoilers. So yeah, spoilers ahead.
Oh yeah,
as always,
big spoilers. Big spoilers.
Unfortunately, this does mean that Bumpy is not present throughout this entire season of the show, and I think that brings it down a bit. Not even a bit. It brings it down a significant amount.
Honestly, I said that the other night, like when we were watching the last 3 episodes, like no Bumpy, like this show, like this season was a step down. I actually, like, now thinking about it, I actually do think that. And that's for one simple reason.
Okay.
I actually think Bumpy is like the show's mascot.
I mean, she is.
She is. Like, Blue is the mascot for the Jurassic World movies, and Bumpy is the mascot for Camp Cretaceous. And, like, without her there, like, it's less fun. Like, it's just not as good. Like, Ben is less of a character without Bumpy.
Yeah,
I think.
I feel like Ben in this season was sort of one note because
he had so much less to do.
He did, because basically all he did. So was it at the end of the last season where he finds out that Brooklyn's still alive?
I think it was during season 2.
Was it during season 2?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember. Anyways,
I'm pretty sure because he sees her like on like a video that's recorded.
Yeah, I thought that was at the end of the first season, but I could be wrong. Anyways, oh no, so it was in the premiere of season 2. Okay, so he finds out Brooklyn is still alive, and then basically he spends the entirety of the rest of the season just like worrying over that fact, and that's kind of all Ben has to do in this season.
Like last season, he was like the catalyst for everything. Basically,
he was
like he found Darius, and then they went on their big road trip to find everyone else. And like that was pretty dope. And Bumpy was still there, so he still had Bumpy to worry about as usual. But then like this season, you take Bumpy away, you're already midway through a story, and the only thing you give him to do is to hide the fact that Brooklyn is alive from the rest of the group, which makes him look like a real asshole, especially after Kenji's dad just got fucking actually murdered by raptors. Like, yeah, Ben was a big L for this season. He didn't,
and you can make the argument that like the lack of Bumpy is made up for because, like, oh, we have Bumpy's egg to look out for, but like Ben doesn't seem to care all that much about Bumpy's egg. If anything,
I would argue Kenji
is the main.
Yeah,
he's the one who's worried the most out of all of them, which is out of character for what we know about Kenji. But I guess like our usual thing of trauma, he's trying to find something to fill the hole left by his awful scumbag of a father who's dead.
Yep.
If you forgot about that.
He did.
Should we talk about how fucking insane Kenji is this season, though? Now that we mentioned that.
Yeah. So Kenji is basically suicidal this entire season. Just throwing himself in danger. Like he went to go like attack like a dinosaur with like a folding chair, even though it's like chained up.
Yeah, for like literally no reason.
Like just real psychopath behavior.
And I noticed that never really got resolved by the end of the season.
It really didn't. I mean, up until the end there, he chased after Brooklyn on foot after they crashed like the car.
Yeah.
Like he was up until the end of the season like actually insane. I don't know, man. It seemed like I don't know. I feel like the characters in general this season were just kind of like less.
Yeah.
They focused a lot on Brooklyn, and like catching us up with Brooklyn, but that really took away from like the rest of the characters because they really devoted heavily to catching us up on where Brooklyn's been.
Which makes sense because she was basically completely absent throughout the first season, but like it really makes this season suffer because we don't get much in the way of character development for anyone else. Maybe like a little bit for Darius in his interactions with Zaina, our new character, who we'll get into, but like that's about it. Like Sammy doesn't really get anything to do. Yaz doesn't really get anything to do.
Oh my god, Sammy actually has nothing to do. She did nothing notable the entire season, if I can remember.
Yeah, I'm I'm trying to think of like what happened. And I can't.
And then if I like with Yasmin, like the only thing she's got going on is she's trying to convince Kenji not to kill himself.
Yeah.
And she also gets knocked out and left
for dead.
Left for dead essentially, but then they find her, so it's fine anyways.
Yeah.
It was just kind of weird going from season 1 to season 2. Like season 1, I felt like it had the benefit of the time jump, so you had so much more to catch up on. But season 2, just not a whole lot of that.
Yeah, it feels this feels like more of a like what's the word I'm looking for? It just feels more like bridging the gap between the next season to get more of the character development. It just kind of feels like not necessarily filler, but there's no, because of the lack of character development, it just doesn't feel as important as that first season.
Season 1 was point A, season 2 is the road, and I'm assuming season 3 is going to be point B.
Exactly. That's a much more succinct way of putting it. Thank you.
Yeah. Because we did get, like, actually at the end of the season, we did get a lot of big things that happened.
Yeah.
And it was funny because, like, literally right before all those big things happened, I said, wow, it really feels like not a lot has happened this season. So yeah, like the main cast, not really a ton of development going on, but the stuff they did with Brooklyn this season, I thought was pretty good, especially with her phantom limb was very fun to watch. See her, like, her figure out how to like not get eaten with one arm.
Yeah.
And she's like traumatized by that fucking raptor.
I mean, I don't blame her.
I also don't. And also very cool, we see the blonde lady from Dominion.
Yeah,
like, again, outside of that one scene that she was in.
What is her name? Soyona Santos. She was so it's revealed that the mysterious broker that kept being referred to in the first season is revealed to be Soyona Santos from Jurassic World Dominion, played by Dyken Lockman, who actually reprised her role for this series. I just found that out. That's really awesome.
That's really cool, actually. That's
they brought her back for that. That's really cool.
Hell yeah.
So she is kind of our main antagonist now. And it's kind of interesting because we only see her and we don't see the weird lady from the first season at all.
Yeah, I'm still feeling kind of weird about that.
We see her in a flashback when we first like catch up with Brooklyn, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, like we still have no idea who she is, and she's not dead. So maybe there's gonna be some big like power grapple like in season 3 or something where she comes back, but I'm still kind of,
I don't know,
a little disappointed we didn't get any expansion on that. I don't know. We did get some cool crazy fucking mad scientist shit though.
We did, and I'm a little with Dr. Sar, that was his name.
Yeah, Dr. Sar, that's it.
I will say I'm a little disappointed that what I thought was going to happen didn't happen.
What happened?
Well,
what did you mean?
So we see him. So Dr.
I
Sar,
know what you mean.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So Dr. Sar is our kind of mad scientist who's working for Santos, and he's growing dinosaurs and he's kind of experimenting. He's made this leucistic baryonyx, which is completely blind, but
and completely white and looks awesome.
Yes, looks really cool.
Scary.
Yeah. But he gets dropped down into the pit with this baryonyx, and it's implied that he dies. But then he shows back up and he's like, "Hey, I'm fine, you dumb bitch. I'm still alive." I was 100% sure that he was gonna be a clone, and that would have been so much cooler. But it's nope. He actually just trained the baryonyx pretty well, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, but then it doesn't even work out because the Atrociraptor like turns the baryonyx immediately, and then they go chase after him.
Which I don't understand how that happened.
I don't know either.
Like,
I don't know.
I understand that they were mirroring the scene in the first Jurassic World where the Indominus turns the raptors against everyone, but like that's because the Indominus had raptor DNA. This is just a baryonyx. Yeah, it's a baryonyx that's had its genetic sequencing tweaked a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's just a baryonyx. How is an Atrociraptor communicating with this thing?
Oh, you know what I just realized it might have been doing?
What?
I just thought about it, and the doctor was just snapping twice to get the baryonyx to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Atrociraptor was just mimicking that sound.
Oh, yeah, actually, that makes a lot more sense now.
Because I was just thinking about it, sounds like really weird because like the raptor did bark a few times, but it was like normal barks.
Yeah.
And then it just started clicking, and I was like, "This doesn't really sound like raptor clicking, like from the movies."
Yeah.
But now that does make that tracks actually.
Let's just scratch everything we just said. Ignore all that.
Yeah.
We were just stupid. Sorry.
But it was pretty funny that the baryonyx was just like, "All right,
yeah,
whatever."
That was pretty good. I also I don't know whether this will ever like be relevant. But the main Atrociraptor in this is named Red instead of Blue. That'd be pretty cool if we got a red versus blue fight later on in this series.
Oh, just like the Rooster Teeth series, Dave.
Exactly.
Halo. Let's go. Where's Master Chief?
He's coming in the next season. Don't worry.
He's on them rings, dude. He's on them rings.
But yeah. I was going to say something, and now I don't remember. Oh, well, so back on Soyona Santos, and I know we're bouncing around here, but, like, that's par for the course.
There's
on
not
this
a
show.
whole lot to talk about, to be honest.
Well, that story. Too. But again, this is par for the course for talking Toku. Like, we're always bouncing around. There is very little structure when we do this.
I mean, I can sum up the entire plot of the season right here in, like, 30 seconds if you want.
Okay, hold on. I'm getting a timer out. I'm gonna time you on this, Brian.
All right. Okay. I can do it in less than 30 seconds.
All right. Well, I got a 30-second timer right here. Ready?
All right. Yeah.
Right. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So the crew, minus Brooklyn, they're on the boat that they got on from the first season, and then they crash in Senegal with a bunch of eggs. Meet a new character. Eggs get stolen. They and new character go to find facility. Shenanigans ensue, and then they find Santos in Brooklyn, and then they go away, and Brooklyn goes with Santos, and that's it.
7 seconds to spare. Not bad.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's that.
Also, sorry, spoiler for the end of the season. It's basically them just in Senegal for like the entire thing, and Brooklyn is like working her way to Senegal.
I mean,
essentially
a big like we mentioned earlier, a big part of this is catching us up with what Brooklyn has been up to since her apparent death.
Yeah,
she has been working with Dinosaur Liberation Now. Basically just
those dorks with the raptor masks on.
Which are really, really goofy. So she's just been working to free dinosaurs from people who would do them harm, basically, and that's what leads her to eventually work with Santos undercover. But she's under like really deep cover. She's really committing to the bit because she leaves all her friends behind, and she goes.
Well, you hear them screaming for their lives.
Yeah, it's like, a little intense, honestly.
It's really dark, honestly. Yeah. That part was like kind of shocking, to be honest. It's like the last episode, and she's walking out of this building, and she just hears her friends screaming.
Yeah, it's a little intense, but
that part was really cool, though. The final confrontation with the baryonyx, where the lights get shut off.
It was, and I mentioned this when we were watching it. I kind of wish they'd played up the horror aspect of that a little more, because it is pitch black. So Santos shuts the generator off because she's going to blow up the entire base to cover her tracks. She turns the lights off because the baryonyx doesn't need to see it and hunts by both sound and scent. So none of the main cast can see, but the baryonyx can perfectly track them. I kind of wish it would have been like not even all that much longer, like 30 seconds longer of them like sneaking through and trying to avoid the baryonyx stealthily. But it's all of it. All they do is it's a flash of light. They see it and they immediately scream and run in the opposite direction. And then it's a big action sequence. The 30 seconds longer of it being a little horror oriented would have been nice.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a cool scene.
It was cool. My other kind of gripe with it was that the entire sequence was fixed by Brooklyn just pulling the fire alarm as she was leaving.
She could have done that at any point.
And I just thought to myself, like, these people have been fighting dinosaurs for like literally years now, and you're telling me not one of them thought to just pull the fucking fire alarm?
Listen,
like you're telling me Darius didn't think of that?
Brian, it was dark. They couldn't see.
I guess so. I don't know. But they've been wandering this facility for hours.
I know.
I don't know. It's a real nitpick, and like it still works. It still works in the story. Like it's fine, but it is a nitpick.
I'll give it a bit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Whatever. Fine. Honestly, Darius was also a bit of a nothing burger this season.
Yeah, he kind of was.
His like kind of like his like mentoring of Zaina was like kind of like not interesting, but it was something.
Mm-hmm.
But like it always just ended in the joke of like, I'm a woman, I can do this myself. I don't need you to tell me what to do, fucking nerd. Essentially. Which, I mean, yeah, Darius is a nerd and he tells everyone what to do and it's annoying.
Yeah.
But that's about it. That's the extent of it. Really. I feel like there was so much more going on with him in season 1 of Chaos Theory.
Yeah, again, this feels like,
especially the tension between him and Kenji. Like I feel like them wrapping up that tension in season 1 feels like a mistake. Actually, I feel like they could have continued it on with them being distant. Because season 2, everyone is like pretty chill with each other up until everyone finds out that Ben was hiding shit.
And it's weird because we talked about Kenji is like kind of not all there in the wake of his father's death. Darius also lost his father, and I can't remember if there was any attempt to kind of relate, to empathize with him in the first season, but Darius makes no attempt to do that here at all. It's almost all Yaz trying to connect with Kenji, and it's just like, you have such an obvious connection there. Why don't you utilize that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe they thought to try and differentiate it from season 1. I just don't think it worked. Maybe they were trying to flesh out the friendships between Yaz and Kenji more. I don't know. I don't know. It was just kind of weird. It seems like they had a lot of rushing. I think they rushed a lot.
You know what the weird thing is? We're talking about. I do want to specify. We didn't not like. We are being a little negative here. We liked it.
Yeah,
it was a good.
Yeah.
This is a good season.
It's still good.
But I find it really interesting. I was seeing a lot of people saying like, "Oh, this is the best thing Jurassic has done in years," and I'm like, I don't know. Like talking about it more and more now. Like I don't think it is. Like I think Camp Cretaceous has had stronger seasons, and Chaos Theory's season 1 was significantly stronger than this. So I don't really know where people are getting that from.
I really, really loved the road trip aspect of season 1.
Yeah,
I loved that. Yeah.
Yeah, like that whole getting the band back together kind of deal.
I do think that this season's production value was a significant improvement, though. Like, there were the kind of reuse of the same kinds of dinosaurs over again. Like, we got a Suchomimus like 4 times, and I was tired of it.
We did.
But those dinosaurs and the models looked really good. And also, when they were in Senegal, something that they did that I found really cool and like something that we don't see a lot of in this franchise is dinosaurs interacting with like actual like of our time local species.
Yeah.
So we had like a fight with we had like a horror sequence with a hippo. And then the Suchomimus from earlier and the hippo fucking fought each other. And that shit was really cool. And also there was like lions, I'm pretty sure.
There were, but they didn't have the money, the budget to make the lion models, so they just used the eye shine, and that was it.
That was pretty spooky, though.
It was.
I appreciated
it was
that.
Effective. It's just funny that it's very clear that they didn't have the budget for it.
They did not for a whole Pride of Lions, no way. But yeah, I really liked that. The dinosaur stuff in the season was really good. Even with the Majungasaurus from the first episode was really cool.
That entire so that sequence there was way more horror oriented. That's kind of what I wanted from the scene with the baryonyx. Because
that was a lot more drawn out. They were stealthing through the whole ship.
Yeah,
and I don't know why they weren't just avoiding the Majungasaurus either. They were avoiding like the crew. So I don't know why they couldn't have done that exact same thing in the finale. It would have been a nice bookend. Yeah, I do feel like the last episode felt pretty rushed.
Yeah,
I think.
Which I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Why.
There was a lot happening in that final episode, so there was a lot to get through. So I understand.
I mean, because we had to get some kind of a resolution between Kenji and Brooklyn, and even though it was only like 5 seconds, maybe like, it needed to happen. So, but yeah, I mean, I feel like that first episode felt a lot more like season 1 than it did season 2.
It did. It almost felt like they kind of broke it up. Like maybe season 1 had 11 episodes. This was 9 episodes. And they're like, let's just make it an even 10 for both of them. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Another thing I want to mention, fucking shout out to whoever modeled the water in this show. The water looked really good for some reason.
That water did look real good.
Like I want to go back and just watch season 1 for a second and see if there's any parts with like water, because I don't remember it ever looking that good. At least the movement was like very just very realistically animated.
Yeah.
It was very strange. How are you feeling about the dinosaur what's the word variety that we got this season?
I mean, I really like the fact that we got a Majungasaurus. That was really, really cool. Despite its overusage, the Suchomimus is probably like one of the best looking dinosaurs we've gotten from this franchise in a while.
When that thing first showed up, it looked really good. I obviously got tired of it, but that thing looked really, really good.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I hate to interrupt you. Another thing I really liked about the first couple episodes was the part where they first meet Xana and her mom, and like it's kind of stupid. They don't ask about the dinosaurs; they just try and take them away.
Yeah.
But the act of removing the what dinosaurs did they have on their property again? Were they?
I think they were Stegosauruses. Yeah.
Yeah, they removed like 3 Stegosauruses. They just drove them away, but then that brought the Suchomimus, and I thought that was pretty cool. They just fucked up by accident, and it brought this huge monster over.
We'll talk about this again, which we already talked about it in our review for season 1. It is insane that a literal cartoon for children is accomplishing is presenting the concept of dinosaurs in the modern world better than the multi-million-dollar blockbuster films of this franchise.
Yeah.
How did
God.
that how did they fumble that so badly? I don't understand.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think that they like. I think the Jurassic movies. I think those are more just action movies. They care less about like they use the dinosaurs as a antagonist or a loose antagonist, and then that's all they are. They don't really have to think about how they how they live, and like most audiences don't care, which that's a bummer, but it's true. Like most audiences don't care. They just want to see the big dinosaur with big teeth.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm at least glad we're getting it in this show because, like, just this show being for kids, like, that's pretty good fucking value for a kid.
For sure.
Like you look at so many, like, kid shows that are being made today, and they're just garbage. They're garbage. But this is actually pretty good. Like, this is pretty good. I don't know. Like, it's, it's informative, I think. Be like, oh, like this is how dinosaurs would be if they lived here, Obviously, it's not, like, realistic at all, but it gives you more to think about.
We also got another named dinosaur in the series, Brian. We got Geba.
We did.
The Gallimimus.
Geba, the poor man's Bumpy.
The poor man's Bumpy. Oh, it's so harsh, Brian.
I didn't like Geba. I thought Geba was annoying.
I think that's part of her charm, though. She's supposed to be kind of a little shit.
I guess so. Geba got out, right? Yeah, Geba got out. Okay.
Yeah, because remember there was that scene at the very end where Zaina calls her mom and she turns the phone so she can see Geba. Like she's having Geba. It's the same kind of thing where it's like you give in your FaceTime and someone you put your dog on. It's literally just that, but with the Gallimimus.
If you could have one pet dinosaur, what would you have?
Bumpy.
You'd have Bumpy?
Yeah.
All right. I honestly don't know what I would choose.
I mean, real answer, I don't know what I would choose either.
Like, you have to get one that's not going to kill you, obviously. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll think about that, and I'll tell you guys next episode.
We should do it. Are we going to do another dinosaur special, Brian?
I would like to. I mean, I'd like to. I could talk about dinosaurs for hours, man.
Honestly, same. I mean, that's what we're doing right now, baby.
True. You know what we could do? We could do some research and, like, find some, like, new, like, scientific developments and talk about them.
Oh, that could be cool. Wow, we'd be such fucking nerds.
I know, but it would be dope.
It would be cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys want us to talk science at you and actually kind of know what we're talking about for once?
Maybe a little bit. We'll actually do some research. Maybe it'll be structured. Who knows?
Yeah. I don't know. That might turn people away because they'd be like, this isn't what Talking Toku's about. They're selling out.
Yeah. Not really our brand, but no. I mean, we like to try new things sometimes.
Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
I do want to give that other format a shot where we just talk about like a bunch of different topics.
Oh yeah, I mean that worked really well for the Godzilla Day one that last time.
Yeah, it did. I did work out pretty well. I enjoyed doing that. It was fun, kind of just like choosing what topics to talk about. Anyways, back on topic. What else do you want to talk about, really? I mean, I feel like any other like big improvements over season 1?
I don't know. I really don't. It didn't really our whole thing for this season is just to get those eggs back because Santos has the eggs and that's kind of the only thing. And at the end of the season, like they're not even all that successful. They get Bumpy's egg back, but Brooklyn still takes the rest of them with Santos. So it's like they didn't really we got 10 episodes. They didn't really accomplish all that much, No.
I mean, they got like 1 out of 10 objectives complete.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I think the choice to have Brooklyn go with Santos was like the only choice you could make.
Yeah. So
Biosyn was name dropped.
Yeah, I want to get into that. Do we think that this is going to go the way of Camp Cretaceous and crossover with Jurassic World Dominion?
I think it's more likely than not, considering that we had crossovers in Camp Cretaceous with both Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's more definitely more likely than not.
Because we had Dodgson in that last season of Camp Cretaceous, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We did.
I only just remembered that.
Yeah, he showed up, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
So it is entirely within the realm of possibility that we could get this. So
yeah, and I mean, like they could have made the broker anybody.
Yeah, they could have, but they're doing a very good job, like making this not necessarily a standalone thing. I mean, yeah, you don't have to watch it to fully appreciate quote unquote the Jurassic World trilogy, but
I don't think anything is going to get me to appreciate that.
No, it's not. But the Camp Cretaceous and Chaos Theory duology definitely like helps give it a little more depth for sure.
I definitely appreciate it's like how hard it's been trying to stick to its own continuity. Like it doesn't have to, but it does. Like the show has been putting in the effort to place it in the world of the movies, and like they don't need to do that. Like I don't think you or I would care if they didn't. I don't think most people would care.
No, probably
I would
not.
say we probably care more than most people. But I really like how much dedication they've had towards doing that, and I think it definitely adds more to the show if you can help place it on a timeline. Because it was fun trying to figure out at the beginning of this season where this falls in on the timeline, and as we got through the show, it became clearer where it was. And that's fun. I like that, and I think that's probably been the strongest aspect of this series, Camp Cretaceous included, through its run. It's just they've been really good about keeping their continuity.
Yeah,
it's really admirable. Honestly, you don't get a lot of spin-off shows that do that.
I think other than that, is there anything else we really want or need to cover? Because I feel like I've spoken my piece on Chaos Theory season 2.
Yeah, I think I have too.
Well, hold on.
Favorite scene favorite scene?
Yeah, you beat me to it. That was what I was gonna say.
I mean, we have to. It's a staple. We gotta do it for every review.
I know. Trying to think. I mean, I did like the Majungasaurus scene. But I also liked the introduction of that Baryonyx at the end. That was pretty cool too, because it looked it looked really cool, and the complete lack of eyes was really creepy.
Yeah, that part was so good. I couldn't figure out if he had one eye or they were both gone. But then when I figured it out,
no. You know what my favorite scene is? It's when Brooklyn goes back into Santos's penthouse and basically kind of blackmails her way into working with her, and she has the laser pointer to guide Red trying to attack her. That was really well done. Yeah, honestly, everything in Santos's penthouse is really well done, because there's the intro scene where they first meet and Santos is kind of playing nice, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, I know who you are. Have a raptor." And she's basically holding her at gunpoint, raptor point, as it were. Everything in Santos's penthouse was so good. That's my favorite scene.
It was very they did a really good job making her very cunning. I appreciate it, because we got no character from her in Dominion.
No, not really.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It would be honestly. I hate to say this. I kind of want to go at least watch the Malta scene to see if she has that same pointer.
She must. No, I think she does.
I think okay.
I think she does. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen the movie, but I seem to recall that when they first released the Atrociraptors in that scene, they do use the lasers to guide to be like, hey, attack Owen and the other guy. By
watched, do you mean actively paid attention to it, or it was on in the same room?
It was on in the same room.
I think the last time I watched it was in theaters.
Yeah, same.
Oh man. Well, I guess I should probably tell you my favorite scene.
Yeah, what's
then.
your favorite scene, Brian? I want to know.
I have two. One of them is the penthouse scene where she's basically Brooklyn's having a gun held to her head in the form of a raptor. And also the revelation that the insane doctor guy fed his crew to the baryonics.
That was wild, dude. That was so insane.
Like, I honestly was like kind of in disbelief. I'm like, there's no way they just casually revealed this dude fed his crew like on a kid's show.
This show is significantly darker than its predecessor. It's kind of insane.
Yeah. He was really crazy. They really, really did a good job making him like actually like fucking insane.
I kind of wish he hadn't died because I would have liked to see more of him in the future.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. Like if they could make him like a lesser villain like later on, that would be dope. He just has like weird like dinosaur like weird dinosaur variants that he has with him.
Yeah.
Like that would be I don't know. Wishful, it's wishful.
Hey, DreamWorks and Universal, you should hire us for this next show.
Yeah.
For this next season, please.
Let us write the show for you and direct it.
We are the self-appointed biggest fans of Camp Cretaceous and Chaos Theory, so I'd like to think we do a good job.
I think so. I think so.
So
man, it would be my dream to have my name in the credits
of Jurassic World Chaos Theory. Honestly, same.
Of Jurassic World Chaos Theory. I would be so elated, but there's no way that's ever happening.
Don't worry, Brian. We'll make it happen one way. Maybe Brian, what if we get a special thanks?
Oh man,
just be like, thanks guys for flying the flag of this show for so long.
Honestly though, like how many other podcasts or shows talk about
exactly none of them
that much? Like it's not like out of the realm of possibility, Again,
we talked about this last time, but like the Jurassic Park podcast already covered it. Obviously they have to, but like we don't have to cover this was totally of our own volition, just because we like the show.
They just covered it because they're starving for content.
Exactly. They can't just rewatch the first movie for the umpteenth time. That's just going to be boring. We can do whatever the hell we want. We chose to cover Chaos Theory. We chose to cover all 5 or 6 seasons of Camp Cretaceous in one goddamn episode. That was all us, baby.
One glorious episode.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to it. It's pretty crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
But
I think that's it though.
I think that's it too.
Yeah.
So
I think out of 10, I'd probably give it like maybe like a 7.
That's what I was feeling too. 6 or 7. Kind of maybe a high 6.
I would really love next season for there to be some more character stuff going on.
I agree.
They got the dinosaur stuff down. They got it down to a T. It's real good. Dinosaurs are the best they've been in the show since it's the best it's ever been, really. But yeah, just that character stuff. They need a good catalyst or objective, I think. And that was the real thing they were lacking in this season. The eggs, it just wasn't. It
was just a MacGuffin, and that's not.
Yeah.
So that works sometimes, but not all the time.
Yeah. Not this time. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I think that's it. It. I can't wait for season 3. We'll probably get it in less than a year.
Yeah, probably. Considering the first season of this came out in May and this came out in October, I assume we will be getting a 3rd season very soon. No news on it, but as soon as we hear the news, you'll know. Don't worry, you'll know.
We'll blast it out on all of our socials, I'm sure.
Yeah, I honestly, I still think like the most excited I've ever been was when this show first got announced, Brian, and I fucking called you to tell you.
Yeah,
about
you
it.
called me. Yeah, I was pretty stoked. I was also deep in my Jurassic World Evolution 2 phase at that point, so I was like doubly excited.
Yeah, that was the happiest I've been in a long time.
That was quite the time to be alive.
Yeah. So yeah, whenever season 3 of Chaos Theory comes out, be sure that we will cover it. Don't worry. But should we move on to our final segment, Brian?
Yeah.
What new cool kaiju thing are you checking out right now?
Nothing.
Nothing. Cool.
I don't know. I don't think I have. We watched Deep Blue Sea.
We did watch Deep Blue Sea. I forgot about that. You want to talk about that?
We watched one of my favorite movies, Deep Blue Sea. It became very clear to everyone who watched it, by that I mean you and Naomi, that it is a very Brian movie.
It's a very Brian movie. And I say that with nothing but love in my heart.
It's like comfort food to me. It's like getting a big old bowl of mac and cheese. It's just delicious.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I wouldn't mind rewatching that again at some point, even sooner rather than later, because that's just how much fun it was.
It was great. It's great, and honestly, the shark effects, some of the best since Jaws.
I can't remember if I mentioned this. In the Sharksploitation documentary, which I mentioned, they I can't remember who was talking about, but when they talked about Deep Blue Sea, they specifically mentioned that the practical effects in this are like kind of scarily good for the time.
Yeah, they built entire like mechanical sharks. It's pretty dope. Anyone who hasn't seen it, I really recommend it. It's such just a fun time. Like get a bunch of friends together, smoke some weed, drink some alcohol, and put on Deep Blue Sea. You'll have a great time.
It's a blast.
Yeah. It's got like a surprisingly stacked cast too.
It's got the Punisher in it. He's in Thomas Jane.
It's got Punisher.
With blonde hair, which was really weird.
It's got the dude from Dune. The bad
guy. I like how that's the movie you recognize him from. Yeah, Stellan Skarsgård is in it
for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, he dies. He dies really quickly
in a really, really dope way too.
Yeah. He really gets put through the ringer, huh? Gets his arm bit off, starts to get air evac out, and then immediately gets taken by a shark and drowns. He doesn't get eaten, but he drowns because it's like the shark's like, oh no, because he gets launched towards the big window they have underwater, and he ends up breaking the window. That's what happens.
Yeah, because the shark like has him in his mouth, and it like launches him towards it.
Incredible.
Yeah, I think that was right around the time when either you or Naomi said this is a very Brian movie. Or like I can understand why, because at that point, and sorry anyone who hasn't seen it, this is spoilers. Just stop listening here if you haven't seen it.
Spoilers for a movie from 1996.
Yeah, whatever. It's
or whenever it was.
It's right around the point where the sharks literally crash a helicopter and everything explodes.
Oh yeah. I think that was me who said that. That was definitely me who said that's.
I think that was.
Yeah.
But man, I made you guys watch Dog Soldiers and Deep Blue Sea.
You didn't make us watch Dog Soldiers. That was a collaborative effort.
I had you guys watch it.
We both wanted
I
to
recommended it.
Oh, we should talk about that actually.
I just had the same thought. Yeah. I'm still salty about it.
So let me bring it up. Let me bring up the post on Instagram. Neil Marshall gave an update yesterday about the state of the Dog Soldiers sequel. And
hold on, don't undersell it. A heartbreaking development.
A heartbreaking update on the Dog Soldiers sequel. It's not happening, unfortunately.
That's fucking right. Like, the rights holders are being a bunch of bitches.
Yeah. So where is it?
Stupid.
All right. So here's the post he made. So it is with a heavy heart that I must announce that this teaser poster is probably as close as we'll ever get to a Dog Soldiers sequel. So he posted this on Instagram. Since so many fans keep asking, I figured I couldn't keep the disappointing news to myself any longer. Your unwavering loyalty deserves better. For the past 6 years, myself and the original UK producer of Dog Soldiers, Christopher Figg, have been working tirelessly to negotiate the rights to make a sequel with the US producer/rights holder, David E. Allen, and his company Dash. 6 years. That's as long as it took to write and make that first movie. Unfortunately, these negotiations came to a sudden... 6 years to make a movie is insane.
Damn.
I guess for an indie movie that makes a little more sense.
Yeah, they probably had a bunch of stuff on back burner while they were working on other stuff.
Yeah. Unfortunately, these negotiations came to a sudden, unexpected halt when earlier this year we were due to finalize and sign the agreements, and they disappeared. Vanished, cut off all communication, refused to answer emails or calls. Why, you ask? I don't know why. That's the point. We simply don't know what happened or why, but the end result is that we don't have the rights to make a sequel without this deal in place, thus rendering it effectively dead. I'm sorry. We tried. We really did. And in Christopher Figg's case, spent a lot of money on legal fees doing so. We wanted this for you, for all the countless fans who've asked for it. But in the end, perhaps it's just not meant to be. The original film was lightning in a bottle, and perhaps lightning doesn't, and in some cases shouldn't, strike twice. So there it is. Yeah. It's sad. It's very, very sad. After we just watched it for the first time, we get that within like a month. It's tragic, heartbreaking.
I'm so salty. I'm so salty about it. I'm still holding out hope that maybe the rights holders, if they see such a big fuss made about it, maybe they'll change their tune. But I really don't think so.
So you're saying it's up to us, Brian, you and me, and Naomi.
Yeah, let's go find their office and burn it down.
Whoa, okay, all right. So what I've been checking out this week.
You know what? Just go. Let's leave it at that.
I actually have some interesting things to talk about this week. I told you about this, Brian. I've been playing Kong Survivor Instinct.
Oh, you sure have. I saw you play it for like a few minutes.
Yeah. So the general consensus for the game seems to be that it's not bad, it's just kind of whatever. And I agree with that. It's fun, but I can't see myself going back to it. Like, I like the puzzles, I like the platforming sections. It's relatively fun. It's simple though. It's bare bones, but the combat is so annoying. It's like weirdly timing based. Like, there's a parrying system and it's not all that fun. It's very, very clunky. To the point where like I kind of sigh anytime I get to a combat section. It's really annoying. But like, I like the set pieces, like running from the monsters, which it's fun, but some of them are really annoying because there's no checkpoints during them. So like, sometimes the platforming won't really cooperate, and then you die and you got to start over back from the beginning. Like the one that I just did recently, running from Tiamat, I kept dying on because you get a grappling hook later on, and that thing is really not all that cooperative all the time. So I kept dying on that.
Imagine making a grappling hook not fun.
Right? Insane in
an era post Doom Eternal where grappling hooks are everywhere. Yeah, that's hard to do.
Shame. But yeah, so it's not fun. Like, I'm enjoying my time with it. I think I'm gonna stop now because I think I don't know if I've soft locked the game, but it certainly feels like I have soft locked the game. So
oh yeah, you messaged me about that, and then I meant to respond.
Yeah, so
sorry.
I'm stuck I'm trying to exit the Tiamat area. I think I'm trying to exit it. And I need there are certain things to open certain doors, you need to find gears to repair them to be able to open them. I am missing one gear out of two. There are no gears around the area that I can see. I have explored every nook and cranny that I can access in this area and the surrounding areas, and I cannot find a gear. What I think happened is that I picked up a gear in a previous area, because like the areas are like separate. Like the first big major area, you're avoiding Kong. The next one is Abaddon. Next is Tiamat. I think I must have picked up a gear and didn't use it in either the Kong or Abaddon areas. Carried that over, or no, I didn't pick one up there. Carried that over to the next area, and I just kept like collecting all the gears that I needed, and now I like used an extra one on a bonus room, like to get a collectible or something, and now I'm down one and I can't go back to get it. I think that's what happened. I might be able to go back, but the fast travel system's a little wonky. So if I could go back, it would be such a pain in the ass, and I don't think it's worth it to go back.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean,
it sucks because I'm almost finished with the game. I'm at 80% because like when you load your save file has the percentage of the game you completed. I'm at 80%, so I'm almost at the end. So it's really frustrating to have to put it down now.
You know what you should do?
What?
You should pay somebody to play the game for you up to the point that you were at, and then hand it back to you. Brian,
how much do you want?
Like an employee. That was what I was saying, man. You pay me like maybe $10 an hour.
$10 an hour?
I'll do it for you.
Okay.
I'll do it for you.
All right. I'll think
about it.
How
long did it take you to get there?
I don't remember. I'll look when I get home. I'll check my Steam. See how many hours I've logged.
If it only took you 4 hours to get there, like that's $40, dude. That's value.
Ain't bad. Yeah. I'll let you know.
That'll buy me dinner.
Yeah.
That'll buy me dinner, Dave. You know what? I'll do it for dinner.
I'll get back to you on that. I'll take a look at my hours logged on Steam when I get home, and I'll let you know. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I got one other thing I want to talk about. And I purposely waited to say this on the show because I wanted to hear your reaction of what I was reading.
Oh boy.
So I'm gonna kind of build this up a little bit. I did not like the movie for this. I did not pay to see it. I snuck into the theater to see this. And I didn't like the movie. I was glad that I didn't pay to see it. And I don't know what led me to read the source material. I think I kind of wanted to see how bad it was, but I've been reading Ready Player One.
As soon as you said I didn't see the movie, I snuck in to see it, I knew it was that. Because I'm pretty sure you told me that you did that.
I did, yeah, I think I have too. It's weird. I go a certain stretch of reading the book being like, yeah, this is kind of fun. And then I go for another chapter. And I'm like, wow, this is really insufferable. And then I just flip back and forth between those feelings. It's really weird because.
So can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I actually read about 3/4 of that book.
Okay.
And I had the exact same experience.
Really? Okay.
And the reason I stopped reading it was because I was just over it.
Interesting. Because I think I'm a little over halfway through.
It feels like it's written by somebody who is like annoying 50% of the time.
It kind of does. So here's my deal with it. So the movie is very much like it's basically just Warner Brothers going, IP. Look at all these IPs we have. Look at all this cool stuff we have. And
it's Space Jam.
It's Space Jam too, yeah. So that's not really the case for the book all that much, surprisingly. Like, there haven't really been any like licensed characters that have showed. There have been references to licensed things, of course. That's like half the book. But like, there haven't really been any like, you know, like, oh, they're in The Shining. Well, I mean, there's the whole War Games thing, but like, I haven't seen War Games, so I don't really care about that anyways. But it doesn't feel as blatant and overbearing as it does in the movie. It just kind of feels like a goofy sci-fi adventure within a virtual video gamey world. It's kind of fun. But then there are long stretches of text where it's just like, hey, remember this video game? Remember this video game? Remember this old cartoon? Remember this movie? Remember this movie? Remember this video game? And that's where it's like, shut the fuck up before I burn this book. It's not even my copy. I got it from the library, but I'll still fucking burn it if you don't shut the fuck up. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling about Ready Player One.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's for people who love having stuff referenced to them.
Yeah. So it was funny. There's a quote on the back of the book because you know they put quotes from reviews on the backs of the books to kind of sell it. And the quote was like, "This non-gamer really loved Ready Player One." And as I was thinking, I'm like, well, by that logic, me as a gamer will hate Ready Player One. Correct? So we'll see. Again, I'm only halfway through. Maybe that'll change. Maybe that'll happen. I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna change, Dave.
No.
It's. I would argue it gets worse later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last chapter I read right before coming here, it was like they did a big thing about Ultraman, and I'm like, oh, perfect. Perfect timing for this.
I don't remember the book very well because I read it in like fucking high school.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely stopped reading it for a reason. So, you know, take from that what you will.
Also, there was like a surprisingly long, and when I say surprisingly long, I mean like about half a page, but even then that's still too long for talking about masturbation.
Oh, I remember that.
You remember that. Okay.
I remember that. That was so uncomfortable.
It's so weird, dude. It's so weird.
It's written by somebody who sounds like they've never touched their penis.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah. 100%. Yes. It's just weird. It's very weird. I go certain stretches where I'm like, okay, I'm having fun with this, and then I go other stretches where I'm like, this is the worst thing that has ever been put to print, and it needs to stop right now.
Yeah. Are you gonna rewatch the movie after you're done reading?
I think I will, because like I don't remember the movie all that well. But from what I can tell and what I remember, there's a lot of differences between the book and the movie. So
if you ever do, I'll watch it with you.
Yeah?
I gotta get drunk, I gotta get high, but I'll do it.
Then all right, we'll do it. I think it's on Hulu.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen it?
Entirety. I've never seen it in its entirety. Well, I hated the book that much.
We're gonna do it. I really
didn't want to.
Then we're gonna watch it, Ryan. I will. All right. When I finish the book, I'll let you know, and we can plan. We can plan for it.
All right, let's do it.
Cool. All right. I think that's about it. Anything else?
I actually have two more things.
Oh.
Two more things.
Okay.
One of them isn't something I've been checking out. It's something I've learned.
Okay.
So I was just on, I think it was on Instagram the other day, and I got a post on like my Discover thing, and it was pictures of practical ships that they built for Alien Romulus. So I was right. They actually built some practical ships for Romulus.
Awesome.
which
Okay.
is pretty dope. If I can find them again, I'll send it to you. But
Yeah,
they're
please
big.
do.
It looks really, really, really cool. Really cool shit. I'm sure Fede Alvarez probably liked it or reposted it or something. Super dope. Also, I have been clocking in more time on Dredge.
Okay.
And it's really scary.
Is it?
It's really scary.
Oh, I gotta play it.
I was playing it last night with the lights off, and once you're out at sea, like past like sunset, like once it gets dark, there's monsters lurking around.
Yeah.
And I had one of them following me, and I was desperately trying to get away from it. Do you want me to tell you what it is? Because it was really creepy.
Please, yes.
It is a anglerfish, but it looks like a boat following you.
Oh, I don't like that.
So you can see the boat like behind you, and it's like enshrouded in fog, so you can see it really poorly, and it's got lights and everything, so it looks like it's coming at you from out of the fog. It also looks exactly like your boat. But then if you look under it, there's a fucking anglerfish, a fucking big one, a huge one. It's really scary. Good shit.
I'm trying to find like a good picture of this thing. I feel like
related to that, somewhat. Sam, #1 fan of the show, is playing through Dave the Diver right now, and she's having quite a blast. But she happened upon a kaiju yesterday or the day before, so a big old eyeball open scared her.
Nice. I did finally buy Dave the Diver because I think the Godzilla DLC is getting delisted this month. So
delisted? Why?
I think they only had the license for like a certain amount of time. Like it was a limited timed DLC, but they didn't really advertise it as such.
Oh, like, is it still going to be in the game later if you bought it?
Yeah, if you have it, yeah, that's fine. But like after this month, like you won't be able to like add it to your library if you haven't already.
The fuck? That's fucked up.
Let me see if I can
don't
find
like that. It. Did you find the fish, by the way?
Yeah, only available from May 23rd to November 23rd.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah. So I made sure to add that to my library immediately.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Did you find the boat though?
Oh, I haven't played it yet. Oh, the Dredge one?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I can't tell. Like I haven't found like a really good picture of it, I feel.
I can't find it either. Maybe it's like rare.
Damn. I mean, I can see the boat and it's really creepy, but I can't really
Yeah. I mean, you can see like
yeah.
I'm pretty sure the boat might disappear if you turn around and face it.
Mm.
Oh, this is a really good picture of it actually, because this is exactly how it looked. Here, I'll send it to you. This is exactly how it looked for me. And it kept getting closer because it was faster than my boat.
Oh, I don't like that. That is creepy.
Yeah. 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 I was very unhappy. So yeah, play Dredge, Dave. You'll like it.
I will eventually. All right. I think
that's it for me.
That's it. All right, cool. Well, that'll be it for this episode of Talking Toku. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and Twitch and Blue Sky, all at Talking Toku. Also, I kind of teased it earlier. I'm on a new podcast with my boys Jacob Lingle, friend of the show, and Nick Crispino, Kaiju Junkie, both of Kaiju United, where we are on the Not Another Kaiju podcast. It is the rebranded version of the Kaiju Town Hall podcast. So episode 1 is currently out right now. We just kind of talked about all the Godzilla Day stuff and shot the shit. It's very casual. Maybe even more casual than this show, if you can believe that.
I honestly can't, but maybe I'll give it a listen.
Give it a listen and let me know. I'd like an outsider's opinion.
Okay.
But yeah, go check that out. We're going to be doing another episode this coming week. We're doing Korean monster movies. and I have to watch Reptilian, the Yongari remake from 1999, where there's a line of dialogue where someone says, "Compared to this guy, Godzilla's a pussy."
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I gotta watch that, and I think I've talked Naomi into watching it. So Brian, do you want to watch Reptilian with us at some point this weekend?
Sure, why not?
All right, cool. We'll discuss it later. Because I think I think Nick told me it's free on YouTube. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, apparently a lot of like Korean monster movies are free on YouTube, which is interesting. Because he said Ape was as well. I think Pulgasari was, which I also would like to watch. I didn't even know that was available anywhere until very recently. So. But yeah, go check out Not Another Kaiju Podcast. We had a fun time recording. We hope to do a lot more. And yeah, what do we want to do next week, Brian, or next episode?
Talk about I don't know, big monsters probably.
Brian, you motherfucker, you're
maybe?
so smart talking about big monsters. You're such a smart guy. This is why you're on this show.
Maybe we'll even talk about aliens.
Whoa! Damn, now you're cooking there, brother. That's why I keep you around. All right, well, we'll figure it out. We won't let you know, but you'll find out whenever we record the next episode. And yeah.
You'll listen to it and you'll like it.
I mean, I hope you like it. We put a lot of work into this. Not really. Not really. We don't put a lot of work into this.
Yeah, definitely not me. Yeah, I don't.
It's fine.
I show up every once in a while.
We put work into this. We put work, period. You know? It might not be a lot, but we do put work into it. And I hope you appreciate it. But I don't think you do.
This sounds like cope right now.
I know. It really does.
Just end the show.
Okay.
Let them go home.
No. Now I'm holding you guys hostage. You guys can't. If I can't go home, you can't go home. All right, bye.